What happens when a country music superstar and a seasoned TV host clash over artistic integrity live on air? The tension inside Studio 1A was so thick you could feel it. Carrie Underwood sat across from Sheinelle Jones on the Today Show couch, her calm, polished exterior starting to crack under an unexpected line of questioning that would lead to one of the most unforgettable walkouts in daytime television. Before we get into what happened, make sure to subscribe and tell me in the comments if you think stars should defend their beliefs, even if it costs them. The morning began like any other press stop. Carrie arrived at Rockefeller Plaza around 6:30 a.m. Her glam team had done their work, giving her that signature look, soft blonde curls, glowing skin, and quiet confidence. She was there to promote her new album, a personal project about faith, family, and staying true in an industry that constantly tests your authenticity. Her publicist had prepped her with the usual list of questions about the music, the tour, her kids, her inspiration. Sheinelle Jones, known for her warm tone and natural curiosity, had her own notes ready. But something had changed in her that morning. Maybe it was the ongoing talk in the country music world about artists avoiding real issues, or maybe she was just tired of easy interviews. Whatever it was, she decided to dig a little deeper. At 8:15, the cameras rolled. The chat began smoothly. Carrie smiled as Sheinelle introduced her, mentioning her journey from American Idol to country music royalty. They talked about her hit single, her upcoming shows, and life with her husband, Mike Fisher, and their 2 kids. Both women seemed at ease. Then, the tone shifted. "You know, Carrie," Sheinelle said gently, her voice becoming more serious. "Your new album touches on some deep ideas. It's all about staying true to yourself in a business that tries to shape you. Tell me more about that." Carrie kept smiling, but a flicker passed through her eyes. "Well, Sheinelle, I think every artist faces that challenge, balancing success with authenticity. This album comes from a very honest place. I wanted to speak from my heart no matter what's trending." "That's interesting," Sheinelle continued, leaning forward, "because some say a lot of artists talk about honesty but still avoid the hard topics. Critics argue that true authenticity means taking real risks, even if it alienates some fans." Carrie's shoulders stiffened slightly. Her smile turned a touch tighter. "I'm not sure I follow. I've always been honest about my values and beliefs." "Of course," Sheinelle replied evenly. "But let's talk about your song Stand Still. Many see it as a message about faith, but others think it hints at current social issues. The line about standing firm when the world wants you to kneel, that sparked some strong reactions." Carrie's jaw tensed. "Music is open to interpretation, Sheinelle. People hear lyrics through their own experiences. I write from my faith and my life. If listeners find another meaning, that's fine. That's what art does." Sheinelle didn't let up. "But with your kind of influence, don't you think it's important to clarify your intentions when your lyrics touch sensitive subjects?" Carrie's voice stayed calm, but her frustration was starting to show. "My only responsibility is to be truthful in my art. I'm not a politician, I'm a songwriter. My job is to share stories that come from my soul, not to comment on every issue or meet everyone's expectations." Sheinelle nodded slightly. "But you'd agree that staying neutral can sometimes look like taking a side, right? You have a wide fan base, people from all backgrounds. When your songs are interpreted politically, aren't you already part of that conversation?" The air in the studio grew heavier. Crew members glanced at each other. Carrie's publicist fidgeted off camera. "You know what, Sheinelle?" Carrie said, her voice edged but steady. "I came here to talk about music, not politics. I don't need to defend every lyric I've ever written." Sheinelle kept her composure. "I understand, but viewers care about these things. You have millions of followers. Don't you think they deserve clarity when your music stirs strong opinions?" Carrie's smile faded. "Clarity? My songs are clear. I sing about faith, love, growth. If people twist that into something else, that says more about the times we live in than about me." The camera zoomed in slightly. Carrie's expression had sharpened. Sheinelle remained calm, but unrelenting. "Then what about higher ground?" Sheinelle asked. "You mentioned building walls of faith and protecting what's sacred. Given today's debates about borders, didn't you expect that reaction?" Carrie laughed, a dry, humorless sound. "So I can't write about spiritual strength without it being turned into politics?" That's exactly the problem, Shale. People overanalyze everything. Higher ground is about rising above negativity, not national policy. I hear that, Shale said, still professional. But impact and intent aren't always the same. When fans quote your lyrics alongside political messages, doesn't that mean you have to address it? Carrie's calm slipped further. She shifted in her seat, her tone hardening. You want to talk responsibility? Mine is to my art and to my family. If I worried about every misread lyric, I'd never create again. Shale sat back but kept her gaze locked. Fair enough. Still, some of your new work, songs like Draw the Line and No Compromise, feel more pointed than before. Are you moving in a new direction? Carrie's response was quick, sharper. And if I am? Maybe I'm done toning myself down just to keep people comfortable. Maybe authentic Carrie isn't the version everyone's used to. The studio went quiet. Even the usual background noise died down. Her publicist looked ready to step in. So, Shale asked carefully, you're saying you're intentionally being more direct, even confrontational? Confrontational? Carrie repeated, eyes flashing. Is that what we call it when a woman finally speaks her mind? I've spent years being told to smile and not stir things up. Maybe I'm done with that. I'm not minimizing your experience, Shale said softly. But with influence comes responsibility. Your words affect people. They shape how your fans think. Carrie stood up suddenly. And there it is. The idea that I should censor myself because someone might take my words the wrong way. That's not how art works. I'm not saying censor, Shale replied, still seated, trying to calm the moment. I'm saying maybe you could help fans understand where you stand. Carrie's voice rose. You want clarity? Here's clarity. I'm done being forced to explain every decision. I'm tired of being treated like I owe an apology for being human. Her anger was raw now. Shale tried to soften things. Carrie, please sit. Let's refocus. Maybe talk about your tour. Off track? Carrie snapped. No, this is exactly on track. This is what interviews have become. Traps dressed up as friendly chats. You ask me here to talk music and then twist everything into drama. Shale stayed composed, though her voice was tighter. I'm not trying to trap you. I'm just having an honest conversation about art and responsibility. My fans already understand my art, Carrie shot back. They don't need you to translate it for them. The control room debated, cutting to commercial. Cameras kept rolling. The tension was electric. Shale tried once more. I think you're misunderstanding my question. I just want to explore how your work fits into the world we live in. And I'm telling you, Carrie said, voice trembling but strong, that I refuse to be limited by how others might interpret me. If that's controversial, fine. Then Shale made her final mistake. But Carrie, she said, don't you think that view comes from a place of privilege? You get to create freely without real consequences. Carrie froze. Her face shifted from shock to hurt to resolve. Privilege? She repeated quietly. You think I'm insulated from consequences? I've been judged, mocked, and dissected for 20 years. My faith, my family, my marriage, my music. Nothing I do escapes criticism. Shale opened her mouth, but Carrie continued, her voice stronger now. I've been called too pop for country, too country for pop, too outspoken, not outspoken enough. And through it all, I've kept showing up. That's not privilege. That's endurance. The room was silent except for Carrie's voice. You want to talk about privilege? It's thinking you can sit there and demand I explain myself to fit your idea of responsibility. My interpretation matters just as much as anyone else's. She began removing her mic. I came here to talk about my music, to share something meaningful. Instead, I got accused and lectured. Carrie, wait, Shale said, finally standing. You're misunderstanding me. Let's start again. Carrie handed the mic to a stunned technician. No, Shale, we're done. This is who you are as an interviewer, and this is who I am as an artist. I won't pretend otherwise. With that, she walked off set, her heels echoing through the silent studio. The cameras caught it all. Sheinelle was left speechless on live TV for the first time in her career. And just like that, a routine interview turned into one of daytime television's most dramatic moments, a clash between two strong women with very different ideas about authenticity, responsibility, and expression. So what do you think? Was Carrie right to defend her artistic integrity no matter the cost?